Hey everyone, this is Lisa from the Rhinestone World, and in this video I'm going to explain to you the page panel in Silhouette Studio version 4. Now, version 4 looks different than 3.0, so there's been a little bit confusion of where do I find everything. So for this, it's the very basic beginning of our page setup. So what they did is they combined page setup, grid settings, and registration marks all in one flyout panel. So you'll notice in version 4.0, you can move these panels where you'd like it. It helps make designing a little bit easier. So if you see over here, all the same commands from the last page panel are still there. So right here we can do our page size. Let's say we want it to be 12 by 12. So we do that. And we adjust for our cutting mat, so we can set it to none, or we can set it to our cameo cutting mat, or whatever size you have. And then all the other options down here, rotate your view, everything like that. Now one thing to note is that the arrow up here is always going to show you which side to load in your material. So just because you have it rotated this way does not mean it's going to cut sideways when you cut it. It's going to cut starting at that arrow, so do keep that in mind. And down here you have your print borders, and so you have your print border. So this is if you were to send it to the printer, you would want to have everything that you're designing within this line. And then down here is show cut border. That is the red line that shows up around your work area. That is the area that your cuts will appear in. So that's what you want to keep your design in. The next part of page setup are your grid options, so you can show your grid. You can snap to grid, so that's if you have the grid, your designs will snap to a line on the grid. And then you also have show guides, and so guides would be these right here. So if you want to use a guide, you click in this ruler area and drag over, and these would be your guides. And then also snap to guides, same as snap to grid, your design will snap onto that guide that you make there. And so we have ruler and crosshairs. You can turn off your rulers or turn them on. I prefer to have them on. And then your crosshairs. So if you want these crosshairs to show up with your mouse, you would turn them on here, or for me, I turn them off here. And then you have different spacing options if you were to see your grid. And now the last option in this panel are your registration marks. So registration marks are used for print and cut. If you are doing a basic vinyl design where you're designing in Silhouette Studio and then cutting vinyl, you do not need registration marks. So if you are using them, you would just go right here to registration marks, turn on the style. So if you have the cameo, portrait, or curio, you turn that on, and then all you have here are your dimensions. And so these are the dimensions for your registration marks. So one thing to note, if you're printing on your home printer, you do want to set up your page size to fit into your printer. So I would do 8.5 by 11. So that's my average paper size. So here's my safe cutting area, and then these marks here show up when I print for print and cut. And I do have another video on print and cut if you want more information on that. So that is a quick overview of the page setup panel in Silhouette Studio version 4. If you have any questions, you can comment below, or you can email us at info@therhinestoneworld.com. Hey everyone, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe below so you don't miss any tutorials or project ideas.